Are you accepting the intelligence as a correct view of the facts, or are you saying, are you just saying that was the intelligence you received? Which of those two things are you saying?
I am saying, in effect, both, because I believe what my chief inspector said from the Dutch commanders and that he shared with his other commanders, but I'm also saying that I listened carefully to what Lord Mann articulated, and he's told me previously that there have been various reports from different elements of the media as to what did happen in Amsterdam.
Are there minutes of this conversation the Chief Inspector had with the police, the three commanders from Amsterdam?
Yeah, he produced a subsequent email that he sent into the chain of command, yes.
Can we have sight of that?
Yeah, we will certainly happily provide that to you.
Certain suggestions. There were 500 to 600 fans involved in targeting disorder, 200 linked to the IDF, fans thrown in the river, serious assaults on the Muslim taxi drivers, all contradicted by the Dutch police. Who am I to believe? That you saying that happened or them saying it didn't happen?
That's why I sat down last week, following having received a letter from the policing minister with the chief inspector, and attempted very much to talk to the horse's mouth. I have no concern about that individual's integrity in what he told me and what he documented that was from the Dutch police.
To answer my previous question, you said you believe both what your chief, what was his status?
Chief inspector.
Your chief inspector told you, and you believe that it actually happened, and yet the Dutch police are saying it didn't happen. So why do you still think it happened?
I still think that because I listened very carefully to what my chief inspector said last week. But of course, in this discourse and having prepared for today, I'm open to listening to lots of different views. And as the intelligence and the information developed, that's exactly what the police did and discussed that at the Safety Advisory Group.
Do you accept that it didn't happen, or you just don't know whether it happened or not, these things?
No, just to be very clear, I believe what my chief inspector told me.
But he was listening to what he was being told. I'm asking you what happened. I'm not asking what he was told.
Well,
what else have you done beyond just talk to your chief inspector?
Well, the other thing that I've done in addition to talking to my chief inspector is obviously speaking to the silver and the gold commander about their assessment of the information and the intelligence. That's what I've done in addition. But in terms of answering the question of what did or didn't happen in very forensic detail on the ground on the day, I wasn't there, you weren't there. I'm taking what I've been told very seriously from a professional who's got good credibility, who's been involved with this type of policing activity for years. I've got no doubt to question his integrity.
Have you not pondered why the Dutch police are now contradicting all of it?
Well, of course, we've probably all done lots of pondering.
And what's your view on that?
My view on that is that I suspect there was lots of, let's say, pressure locally on the Dutch police as a result of this match. My very careful conclusion from looking at everything and listening to what people have said, and indeed listening this afternoon to what Lord Mann said, is that I think initially the Dutch probably underestimated the level of threat and risk. And the day before the match, they were extremely stretched. The day of the match, they deployed an absolute abundance of riot-trained police, and I think the whole incident left them in a position whereby they hadn't anticipated the level of disorder, and also in terms of one side's approach.
Are you saying they're now in denial? So that you're saying they didn't anticipate this, it happened, and now they're in denial. Is that what you're telling us?
I'm not saying that they're in denial, but with respect, you would have to ask them their version of events, wouldn't you, not me? I'm telling you directly what the person on the online room has told me, because I went to check the detail personally.